a conscious way of living, and grow a community of like-minded people. One such wonderful person we have come across on this journey, who has personally been a great inspiration to me to follow and learn from, is Mrs. Vani Murthy. And I'm very excited to bring her in today. Just gonna get her into the live. So as she's joining, just to tell you guys a little bit about her, Mrs. Vani Murthy is an avid composter, an urban farmer, a waste management practitioner moving towards a low waste lifestyle. She is also, she's also the founding member of SWMRT, which is the Solid Waste Management Roundtable in Bangalore. She's a recipient of numerous prestigious awards and a notable speaker at platforms like TEDx. Welcome, Vani ji. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Hi, Kajol. Lovely being on your show. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming here. And, you know, in these uncertain times, we're all stuck at home. Everyone's trying to pick up a new trick and learn something new. And I think gardening has been one of those as well that we've all kind of learned and tried to learn at least. So yeah. Can you tell us about your journey with gardening? How did it begin?
I was very far removed from gardening. I always thought there was something called the green thumb, and I don't have one. But then I got into waste management, looked at how trash is creating so much problems. So dived right into trash, actually, literally. And then found out how landfills are such a polluting space, and how we shouldn't be mixing waste, how so much of resources is getting lost. That's my journey of learning what amazing resources that we are discarding to pollute this environment. So that actually gave me access to segregate my waste, look at my kitchen waste being the biggest part of the waste that I generate. That's the, the scraps from my kitchen, and that's 60%. And I started composting, and I got crazy about composting. And that led me to, starting my own, gardening. I started to learn how to grow food on my terrace and even the smallest spaces, how wonderful it is to grow food. And I have never stopped learning since then.
That's amazing. So, all of us want to compost, and I think everybody here loves you for that and follows you for that and loves to learn from you. So what is your beginner's guide to composting?
Well, first of all, composting is an amazing way to say you care for the planet. So if you have to make a choice about composting, it should be about what fantastic resource that comes out of our kitchen that we consider as waste, as a garbage or a trash, and we let it go. If we look at it as something that can build soil, something that can nourish soil and the life in soil, that's the organic matter that needs to go back to soil. So if you get this, I think each of us have a chance of, learning how to compost. So it is about the choice you make. I made a choice not to send it out because it's polluting the environment. Later, I realized what a fantastic soil amendment it is, what a fertilizer it is, and how it can encourage soil health, the nutrients in the soil that the plants can absorb. And those plants, when we eat, the edible plants, we get the nutrients in the same cycle. Composting is not a rocket science. It is about experimenting. You need to go into it without, fearing failure, because it's okay to fail. If you keep that as a base, it has to be an exciting journey, because mine was. I failed terribly when I did for the first time. But what I learned from that failure is what today I am here talking on platform like this, because of that failure. So never ever fear failure. So that's, I think, the biggest tip I can give people, because the excitement, even today, I'm so excited. I'm dancing when I have to bring my, kitchen waste, everything that I generate from my kitchen is something that comes dancing into my, compost bin, because this is something I ate. This is something that comes out of my kitchen. And this, if it goes back to a process. So composting is a process, the process of breakdown of organic matter. So anything that comes from the soil is organic matter which can break down to build that soil. Just understanding that these are fresh greens, number one. Then you need browns because this is a lot of moisture in it. Most people have problems with composting because they think it's a stinking mess. It is very wet and smelly, and it attracts a lot of creepy crawlies, the thing is to keep the balance. So you need to have enough browns, and the browns are available all around when the trees shed their leaves. So all I have to do is, shred them, shred these dry leaves so they become the brown. So you have the greens, you have the browns, and you need an accelerator, anything that can hasten the composting process. You can buy store-bought accelerators, or you can even add a little bit of sour buttermilk into your composting process, which would kick-start. It is like introducing microbes which would feed on this. They will multiply, and finally, what you get, if you just watch the balance, what you get is the black gold. It's fantastic compost that you get, which you can actually add to your plants and your soil, and grow your food. So it has to be a process, understanding the process. Keep experimenting till you get a hang of it, because it may not be okay in the first instance. It's like cooking. When you cook for the first time, you can't make a great dish. You need to repeatedly do a dish till you perfect it. So composting is exactly like that. So to everybody that is wanting to compost, just dive into the process, understand the process. There are lots of videos that come out, and you can look up what I have been posting on IGTV, and learn. It's experiential. Unless you experiment with composting, you will not understand what the process is. You can read a lot, you can watch a lot of videos, but unless you do it, you don't get a hang of it.
100%. And like Simar says, you make it look so easy. I think I'm going to also try it now. A lot of people have a myth that, you need a lot of space to be able to manage gardening, to be able to manage composting. Is that true? Is that a myth you'd like to address?
Absolutely not. I have known people, well, I have the luxury of a terrace of my, the room I live on the 4th floor of an apartment, and I have a little terrace attached to the room. And yes, I have space, but then I do grow in my balcony also. It's a very small balcony. So I have boxes where I grow my greens, and I compost on one side. I have vermicompost bin. So space is here. When you open up this space, you will find space, because the whole thing is about, getting onto a journey to be more caring to the environment, because we have to understand why we are doing few things in life, and getting all these as a part of who we are, getting it into our lives. Even in a windowsill which has enough sunlight, you can grow a lot of things. You can grow your microgreens, you can grow your pudina, your herbs, you can grow so many things. So start small, always start small. Don't look at space. And also a corner of a balcony could be your composting. You can have a tower composting, one over the other. You can DIY yourself, DIY, you can make your own bins, or you can buy ready-made kits. So right now you have so many options. You don't have to even fear, because they give you a handbook and it tells you how to do it. They're on call helping you. So I think it should become a part of everybody's, every household should be composting their wet waste.
And how often do people is it a once a week is enough if you even try to start with that?
It's like a daily thing. When you get your fresh peels off your kitchen,
you keep saving it.
You just go to your compost bin, drop those peels, add some browns, add a little accelerator, give it a nice mix, close it, and that's it. I tell people often it's faster than you trying to make Maggie. Maggie takes 2 minutes, right? This, even within a minute, you can finish your, that morning's, whatever the chore of taking your, kitchen waste into your compost bin. Yeah, it doesn't take much time. See, again, time, space, all that is in your mind. You open that up, and nothing is impossible.
Would you want to show us a demo of how you do your space gardening and everything? You want to show us a demo, or you want to take us through the process?
Sure. So basically, for people who have just starting to garden, firstly, what is the soil mix? We are talking about container gardening, where even a windowsill or a balcony or maybe a terrace. In fact, people, when they don't have space, if there is an empty plot, they go and start gardening there. Throw some seeds, just enrich the soil by putting compost into it, and it's so giving. Nature is so giving. You're just trying to be a part of what's happening naturally in the nature. Composting, once you compost, you get the compost, because compost has a process, as I said. And after you fill the bin, watch its balance, the moisture balance, give it enough oxygen, and then at the end of 30 to 45 days, you get the black gold. So this is the nutrients for all your plants that it will absorb. The plants will take, because it's readily available. A compost is a readily available nutrients for the plants to take in. So you plan to grow something. First of all, what are the different containers? So you can buy ready-made kits. I'm sure amala.earth has, they have some ready kits. You can make your own DIY. You have a, ice cream tub or a takeaway, something like this. There's an ice cream tub that you can fill up. So what is a container mix? So this is nothing but one part of compost. I make vermicompost, so I put one part of vermicompost also. And then there is coco peat. You can add coco peat.
Yeah.
Because in container soil, container gardening, usually you like to keep it light, because only soil makes it very heavy. So you add compost, coco peat, and soil in proportion, equal proportion, and then you have the soil mix. Sometimes you can add some, you have these neem cakes, that powder, and you can add that. So there are other nutrients that you can add, but for a basic person who is starting, just add these three, mix it up, and fill up any container. And all you have to do is you have mustard in your kitchen. The mustard that you use, the rye that you use in your kitchen, just take that and sprinkle on top. Just sprinkle the rye on top, and cover it up. So you just cover it up, press it down, and then you have to pour the water very lightly, because when they start sprouting, they're very tender, and you wouldn't want them to get hurt. So you just have to lightly sprinkle water, keep it moist, and always make sure that you have holes at the bottom of your tub, whichever tub you take. So whether it is your curd dabba, I have an onion growing. So sometimes the onions sprouts, they sprout like this. So I just put it in a box like this. This is my sister sent it from Dubai, because I reuse things. So I just you have the onion greens growing in this tub. So this is another one that I'm going to put, into another thing. Or you want to decorate your, your drawing room, or you keep it in your bedside. You can put this into another lovely container. So this is again a curd box that you are growing your, greens. And then in this tub, I have put some seeds, chilies and tomato seeds, and they're all sprouted. And this I'll transplant. Once they come up to one height, I transplant. So when I transplant, they are like this. This is a bok choy sapling that I can just put it into any container. This is a cherry tomato sapling that's come. You can see how beautifully the roots are. So you can create saplings. There's a lettuce sapling here, a nice lettuce sapling. So you can use all these to do. Even if you have a stem of a pudina, you can do rooting. See, you can see the roots, beautiful roots that have grown in this pudina. I just put a stem, and then this can go into the soil now. And then you'll get lovely pudina in it. So there is an idli bag, dosa idli bag. I put this, basil. So you can use your basil in this. So there is different. I had avocado seeds, and I just put it in a tub. This is again a takeaway tub, and you can see the avocado. So I'll be sending it to a place where they avocado is a big tree. I can't grow it, right? So I will be sending that. So all the avocados that I grow in these bags are sent, so that I'm reusing the bag. Plus, the avocado sapling has come up. So I think it should be very exciting to do stuff like this, because it keeps you occupied. It is kind of a therapeutic, and it's so nice to have nature around you. They attract the bees, the butterflies. I have plants dedicated to the butterflies as host plants. They come drop
Wow.
their eggs, and the eggs will go into different stage of the butterfly's metamorphosis, and finally you are providing space for life to thrive. There are monkeys that come, they eat all my stuff, all my figs are gone because yesterday a monkey came and damaged everything. So I'm okay with that, because you see that nature, you are a part of nature. Nature is not something away from you. You don't have to go somewhere to enjoy nature. You're enjoying it right in your own space. So yes, I think composting and gardening, especially growing your own greens, your palak, your spinach, your methi. You can grow all of them because they're so safe to eat. Nothing is sprayed on them. So the best part of food that you grow, you can't grow all your food, but even little that you grow, you start understanding how tasty it is, how important it is for us to make choices about good food, clean food, which is without any pesticides and other chemicals, fertilizers, and you're using organic fertilizers to grow them.
That's so inspiring. At Amala logo and the inspiration is so butterfly, because it's the metamorphosis, the whole journey of the butterfly to transform is what really inspires us at Amala as well. And I love how you've just connected it to the right point, and it's beautiful to learn. And I love how you've got the 360-degree turn happening in your own house, from eating the food to composting it to then utilizing it again, growing your own plants. So what is the impact you've seen in all these years you've been doing this? Please do tell everybody how many years you've been doing it as well.
I've been in the space of waste management for over 12 years, a dozen years. And of course, I've been growing, what little I can understand more about growing food. I've grown all kinds of vegetables and greens. So it's more about experimenting and understanding how there is nothing called green thumb. You connect nature, and it just happens. It's so giving. All you need to do is give the right amount of fertilizers. Then you come up with pests. How do we take care of that? What are the different pests that come? Are there some good pests that actually help you? So we start learning. It's all an education. You don't have to go to a university to learn about the plant kingdom. You can actually grow something and actually learn what it is all about. And I see a huge impact, especially in Bangalore, and of course all over. I see we have a fantastic movement called Organic Terrace Gardeners Group. We have a motto called grow what you eat and eat what you grow. So they are all terrace gardeners growing organically, and we meet. Of course, now with COVID we haven't, but once in 3 months we have a huge mela. We call it Uta from your Tota. In Kannada, Uta is food, Tota is your garden. So food from your garden is the theme for that mela.
Wow.
We have stalls, and of course my stall is all about waste management, about reducing waste, about composting, and of course growing. So as a part of SWRT, we have launched amazing campaigns. We've been together for 12 years now, and we are all citizens, extremely caring for our city, and how we can say no to a landfill and actually start managing our waste and be a part of the solution, not the part of the problem. When you throw all your waste, you are the problem, not the municipality, the government, nobody. You are the problem. So once we recognize that, we try to create awareness through campaigns. So Swachhagraha has been one of the biggest campaigns, after 2 bin 1 bag, which was a segregation campaign. So we as a team have grown, and people look up to us to give advice, and also, help them promote in their cities. And Swachhagraha is about, composting, growing, and eating safe food. So you are completing the cycle, of understanding what you need to put into this body of ours. So it has been an amazing journey. I see so many people, in spite of failures, finally, get it, and they are composting, they are growing, and the pleasure and the happiness that you get by, harvesting your vegetables, cooking, and making sure you tell your kids and your family that this I grew, I made the effort to grow it, and how tasty it is. So I think there is a lot of satisfaction when you close the circle everywhere.
That's so amazing, and I'm very excited to try something new out. What happens with me is that I have tried to grow plants before and tried my hand at gardening, but I do end up they don't last too long. So do you have any tips and tricks on how we can take care of our plants better?
It's okay, because I don't think we should get too stressed about losing plants, because it's a part of learning. I never had indoor plants, right? I used to always grow edibles. I would always say my garden is edibles, but you need flowering plants because you need to attract pollinators, right? But then my neighbor had lots of flowering plants, so I didn't bother to put any flowering plants. I said, anyway, bees and butterflies will come there. They will come and pollinate my flowers, my vegetable flowers. But then I started looking at my son, who is doing a lot of indoor plants, and I got excited. I bought a fiddle leaf fig, and something went wrong. It was the soil was very hard. I tried to transplant it with good compost and my own soil mix, and all the leaves fell off and it just died. I thought it died, but every day I would touch it, and say, I'm so sorry, I was not gentle with you. Maybe I hurt her. And then you won't believe, today she's so lush. I mean, it is so beautiful to see. She's got so many leaves. She's got a second branch coming. And I know that, I think there is that connect that makes it so wonderful. Yeah, I mean, it is wonderful to have plants definitely in and around. They make you happy, and it's green space. It's always nice to see. And with so much happening around, you can get lost in your garden, even with the smallest garden, observe,
Yeah.
watch. It teaches you so much patience. It teaches you everything. So don't be afraid to lose plants, because it's again a part of learning.
I think the idea is to keep trying till you succeed, like
Yeah,
every
yeah, yeah.
definitely. So, if we talk about, growing our own edible plants, do you have like some easy tricks? You said you can buy it online as well. You can purchase things on your own. So, would you have any recommendations for people to, find how to do this in a simpler manner?
Do
Um,
what?
Gardening, like, the kits that are available, and would you want to show
Yeah,
it to? Yeah.
yeah, sure. So I think Amala, they have I don't think
Right.
anybody
Yeah.
can see, because you have pinned something. So it's like, yeah. So they have kits. Of course, you can tell about the website. It comes with a grow bag. They have a bag of, the soil mix. It has
Mhm.
vermicompost, coco peat. It's ready to grow. And of course, the kit comes with a spade, and they have a small booklet and a tub that you can grow something for your to start off for the first time. You just have to just log in and find out. You can talk about your website, and yeah.
Yeah, we have it available. It's a gardening kit that we have
Yeah,
available, and it includes all of these products together,
yeah,
which is the whole kit. And we also have these grow and geofabric grow bags.
yeah. They're breathable bags, excellent. They last a long time, and you can place them anywhere. They're fantastic. So I have put the soil mix into this, and all I need to do is, if I want to grow the onion, I just have to place it here, and that's it. And after some time, you get the onion shoots and use them to garnish your food. And
Yeah, I think we lost you there for a second.
yeah,
Awesome. Thank you so much, Vani ji. This has been a lot of learning, and I can't wait to try all of these amazing tricks and tips out. And I think just the way you connect with nature is so inspiring that all of us feel that, energy from you that, okay, we need to try something too. Um, so to quickly also take you through the questions, because we've got a lot of people asking a lot of questions.
sure, sure,
Um,
sure.
I would also someone's asked, where should we buy the gardening material from?
You can introduce them to Amala.
Yes, you can get the whole kit at Amala.earth. So the one we just spoke about, and I will also link it there. I will just request someone from the team to put the link on there so that, if you guys want to buy it directly. I will also share the link in the stories right after this live session. So please feel free to buy it from there. Gia is asking, do you have any recommendations for low light plants or low maintenance plants that do okay in homes that don't get so much sunlight?
Well, if you have to grow edibles, mostly they all need sunlight, but greens are something that can still do well in low light. But definitely there should be some sunlight. You can't do it inside the house. I can sprout it inside the house, but then again, I need to put it in soil, in sunlight. Then they will come out very well. They need a lot of sunlight. So I think indoor plants which are non-edible, I think they do well inside with very low
Yeah.
light. But edibles, you definitely need at least 2 to 3 hours of sunlight.
Yeah, there was another question related to the same thing where how can we provide light to small indoor plants if they're unable to survive? So I guess the trick is
Yeah,
that we need the
you can rotate them, take them out for some time, keep them for a week inside, and then, maybe put them in a not very full sunny area, but at least let them get some sunlight. Yeah.
right. How long does it take for an avocado to grow?
I don't know, because I just sprout them. I think it takes a month for them to come to this size. And then I send it for afforestation once I get around 20 or 25 such things, because in the season we eat a lot of avocados. So every seed goes into this. And I'm a part of community supported agriculture with Navadarshana. So we send it, the truck comes to give our weekly basket of vegetables and fruits, and we send this back, so that they can put it in their forest. Yeah. So of course, in the forest there are other challenges. There are elephants there, so they may pull it out. But ultimately, at least there is an attempt to send it. But it takes many years for it to start fruiting. Yeah.
Got it. Any prerequisites required to keep sunlight, shade, or rain in mind while finding the place for compost in the balcony?
Well, compost doesn't need any sunlight as such. You have to keep it away from rain. Too much of sunlight also can dry up your compost, which will, if the compost is dry, the life in the compost starts to suffer because they need moisture. The microorganisms need moisture, or everything that exists in your compost need moisture to thrive and to break down your organic waste. So we make sure that it's not too much exposed to sunlight that it dries up. But if you don't have a space where there is limited sunlight, then you can watch out and sprinkle some water to keep the moisture. And drained water should not get into your compost. That's where everything goes wrong, because it becomes very soggy and smelly, and it'll attract too many creepy crawlies. So you need to be careful about the sun and the rain.
Got it. How does the black gold get separated from the waste bin?
Once you compost, all the things that you put into your compost bin, that is your dry greens, dry browns, or the fresh greens, the wet greens, all of them break down. But there are different material breaks down in different times. Like a seed, a mango seed takes longer time, so we keep putting it back to another round, multiple rounds of composting. So we try to sieve it. Many people don't bother to sieve. They put it into their plants so that it continues to break down there into their pots. You can sieve, then you get a fine powder like this. When you sieve, you get some. Actually, I have a garden bin, which it just comes out from the sides. It falls like this. I don't even sieve. They fall out from a gap, and I'm just collecting it in a bag there. And I don't even have to sieve. So you can separate the things that haven't composted, take a large sieve and remove all the larger pieces that can go back to another round of composting. So many people don't sieve. It's okay to sieve. And if you don't want to sieve also, it's okay.
Got it. Does spring onion require a lot of water? How often to water edibles?
Vegetables every day. Only few things that, like chilies and all that, green chilies and capsicum, you don't water every day. But most of the vegetables, of course, if they are out in the sun, you need to definitely water because it evaporates. And yeah, you can watch your plant. If you actually put your little finger inside, and if you bring it out and you see there is, soil stuck, that means there is moisture. So that's another trick to find out if it needs water. So you can always do that trick of putting your hand into the soil and removing it. And if you find, soil stuck, that means there is moisture. So you don't have to water that plant. Yeah.
That's easy. Which plants are most favorable to grow in a house in Mumbai?
I don't live in Mumbai. So I think Mumbai has space constraints. And I know a lot of the balcony gardener in Mumbai. She's
Yeah.
amazing. She grows so many things in her little balcony. She composts in the balcony. She had cherry tomatoes. She has all kinds of chilies growing. So I think once you start this journey, you get onto your own ways of learning to grow. It should just happen. You find people, you find groups, you go to the farmers market, you will know, there are other people who are growing food in their homes, are coming there.
Yeah.
So I think we need to make that connect to different people, so that you have a strong bond. So you learn a lot. You exchange seeds, like, I save seeds and you can exchange seeds. You exchange harvests. I grow too many of this particular vegetable. We are fed up of that. Can I exchange it with you if you have something else? So it's good fun to have groups of people who are growing and connecting online. There are gardening groups on Facebook who come together, and it's fantastic. Different areas in Bangalore have different groups, and
Yeah.
they meet once a month to learn. They get an expert to come and talk to the group. So a lot of things can happen around gardening. Yeah.
Yeah, like how we say at Amala, we want to, grow that conscious community and bring together all like-minded people. And that's the best way to do it. You just have to keep connecting to more and more people.
Yes. Yes.
Gutta is asking how to start composting when we have a large amount of vegetable waste produced. I think you already told us, but if you want to just...
Yeah. So there is a process, as I keep saying. You have to understand that. Give it give it a try. All your green waste that comes from your kitchen is 60% of what you generate as waste. And if you can just put them into a composting process, it'll be great, because you just need the greens, the browns, some accelerator, keep the moisture balance, and keep turning it, because it needs oxygen. It needs to be in a covered bin so that it doesn't attract all kinds of vermins. You don't want cockroaches, lizards, and rats getting into it, because that will be one of the ways you will be asked to stop that process, because you may be wanting to do it, but family members would say it's smelling, and so we need to it takes some time for you to get a hang of it. So just start the process. There are plenty of videos. Go on to Daily Dump. They have kits ready also, which you can buy, composting kits. I think you all
Yes.
also should start selling
Yes.
composting
Yeah.
kits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to get everything under the earth for composting, but basically we do have a lot of compostable products already available, which help through the process. But yeah, definitely. Ina's asking, would you recommend grow bags for indoor plants?
Well, I do have grow bags inside in as indoor plants also.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's a breathable bag, so it's fine.
got
You
it.
can always put it into another fancy container, if you don't want you want to look, you want it to look fancier, you can put it into another ceramic container or something else. Yeah.
Definitely. I have a question to ask you before ending this, that what is the inspiration behind your name, Worm Rani? Because I think it's an amazing name.
It just happened. I in 2013 is when I got onto Instagram, because I was on Facebook for a very long time, almost from 2007, and I was looking for handle, and I couldn't get as Vani Murthy. And one of my friends who hangs around with me, young friend, she suggested something around worms, about composting or worms, and then she said, why not Worm Rani? I said, it's pretty apt, because I'm always handling worms, and I take the earthworms wherever I go. When I used to do the demo, now I don't leave home. All the demo is online. and kids are so excited about earthworms. They don't want to touch it because they're so scared. And within a minute or two, one little kid will be very brave to say, put it on my hand. And so I like children to understand the earthworms and how important they are in soil. They are the ones that are tilling your soil. They are they are the digesters of the earth. If you don't have earthworms in the soil because of bad agricultural practices of putting so much of fertilizers and toxic pesticides, you're killing life. And that's no way to grow your food, right? So the importance of earthworms in the soil to grow our food is, told by showing the worms, and, children get it. They make me lovely drawings and cards and send it to me with worms, and it's so amazing.
That's amazing. I think if you compost well and you garden and grow your own food, you also increase the number of earthworms in the soil, which helps the whole process to become smoother.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Anyone else has any other question? Would you like to end on a note? Would you like to share anything else with us? We've already learned a lot today.
Yeah. So I think it is a personal journey for each of us to experiment, experience it, and connect to nature, because that's what is missing in today's world. That we're so disconnected. We are so into so many things. And I think one of the ways to calm down and, be more focused and get clarity in life is by doing things that are part of nature. Touching soil, composting, seeing the life in compost and seeing something sprout and grow. I think all that should be very exciting for all of us. And introducing children to gardening is so amazing. Just imagine the child says, this is my plant, tomato plant, and I have a tomato, I have harvested it, and it's my tomato. He understands that this is the growth. He's waiting, he learns to be patient, and, he interacts. The plant is his. Maybe the child will name the plant something. It's so exciting. So I think all of us should be gardening. Even few plants, even in the smallest spaces, could give you great amount of joy and take you on a path which could be very calming for us. Staying focused on why are we here on the planet? What is the impact of our lives on this planet, and what is it that, how can we walk lightly on this planet, not leave something that is a burden for other generations to handle it. So I think we start to become more caring and treat this planet as our home, not just our home to keep it clean and dump everything outside. I think each of us can introspect on that. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you so much. And I think also a lot of brands like we at Amala also have so many brands who have come together with amazing new innovations. We've got seed balls for kids to also, grow on their own. We've got easy gardening kits so you can literally start from the beginning and pick it up. It's not that you need to think about it. So there's always a starting point. And I feel like if you have the right direction from people like Vani ji and, have brands to help you today to find it easily, which is what we're trying to do here, that we're trying to curate them all and bring them together. I think definitely the future can be brighter for all of us and more calm and more green.
Yeah, totally.
It was lovely from you. Someone asked, what is the secret to your glowing skin, Vani ji? Is it all the food that...
Absolutely. Just the joy of doing things that I have totally connected with. Could be I eat organic food that has no pesticides.
Yeah.
So the choices that you make keeps you glowing, of course. So
definitely grow your own food. That's it.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you, Kajal.
And we hope we see you back very soon for all of us.
Say hi to Gunjan.
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.